welcome to our show today. I am Catherine with Grace Company. This is my co-host here.
I'm Anthony at Grace.
And we are here with our favorite gal. We've got Angel from Halo Inspirations.
Hello,
Hi,
everybody. Welcome.
Yes, we're so excited. This is our first event together. Now, Angel, it is Wednesday, so what does that mean?
Hump day. Whoop, whoop. Hump day.
So we're so excited to be doing an event with Angel. She does such a great job educating. We watch her on Wednesdays, her and Michael. They're great to watch, so fun. And it's our first one with her, so we're so excited. Angel is the owner of Halo Inspirations. For those of you out there in Virginia, I'm sure you know her and love her as we do. But for those of you that have not met Angel yet, you are about to be introduced to the lady right here, Angel. Angel, so what made you decide that you wanted to have an event with us? What was the reason? Is it because we're so fun and exciting?
Well, actually, it's a true story, right? No, and actually, one of the reasons, well, first and foremost, we're getting the experts on board, okay? When we talk about the Grace machines, there's nobody that's going to know them better than y'all. However, saying that, the other reason is this is the first time we did the event. And what's very special for all of us at Halo is to be able to introduce you, Catherine, as our account executive, and our other BFF, number one fave here, Mr. Anthony. We super love it. We call us the A-team. And it's such a privilege to be able to share with the Halo community and the cherubs of Halo. That's what we call our customers. The customers is a bad name. So we like cherubs. You are a cherub of Halo. And it's really nice to be able to see the other side of the team. Okay. Because it does take a team to make it all work correctly. And there's nobody better than Catherine and Anthony. And it's our privilege to be able to give these people your face to make that connection. So,
thank you so much, Halo, or Angel. Angel at Halo, you got ale.
It's all right.
I know. Well, we were trying to think of a theme and what we wanted to talk about, and it was taking us a minute, right, Angel? We were like, no, that doesn't fit. This doesn't fit. This doesn't fit. And then all of a sudden, we came up with 19 reasons to love quilting.
To fall in love with quilting.
To fall in love with quilting. I am not on my game yet, but don't you worry, I will be.
We're the three of us. We'll get through it, right?
Team effort.
Yeah, teammate. Yeah. So we're excited to be here to talk about some of our favorite things, 19 of our favorite things about quilting. Now, before we get started, if any of you are out there watching and you have any questions, just go ahead and put them on the screen. We're going to take some minutes and pause, and we'll answer any questions that you might have about either Halo, where they're at. They're out there in Williamsburg, Virginia. The address, phone number, email, everything you need to reach them is right there on the bottom of your screen. Also, you can call us here at Grace Company. We'll give you all of the information, everything except for Angel's cell phone number, because, we don't want you calling all hours of the night. That's what email's for. So if you want to do it in the middle of the night, you send an email. But no, we are here with her and supporting her, and we love Halo. We love the team there.
We do.
We've been lucky, Anthony and I. We have been able to work with Angel and Eric and Michael, a couple different things, couple different events, and we just really love them. They're just good people, great customer service at the shop, as you will find out. We're going to definitely talk about that. But yeah, we're just excited to be here, right, Anthony?
We are. One of the big things that drew me to Grace in general was just like how supportive the team was, the community, the company. It was just such a nice environment to be in. And when we did a show with Halo Inspirations and Angel and Eric and Michael were there all working with us, it just felt natural. Like they were part of the team. They were working with that flow. We had fun. They were able to talk about the product really well, and it wasn't like you kind of had to check over your shoulder and be like, what's going on over there?
It's like, what are
it
they
just felt
saying?
like
They
a
knew.
well-oiled machine, and I absolutely loved it, and I'm so excited to keep working with them.
Yes. So with that being said, we'll also talk about it at the very end, but we are headed out to Virginia again next week. Anthony and I are going to be part of the team.
That's right.
Halo will be there. We are going to the first ever Road to Virginia show.
I'm so excited.
It's going to be fun. It's there in Richmond. So if you're in the area and you want to come visit, make sure you come visit us at the Grace booth. Meet Angel and Eric and Michael and the Halo team, and come and learn about the products you'll be able to get your hands on, what we're talking about today. But we're giving such great prices this week, so you might want to buy it before you get to the show. I mean, these are going to be amazing. So anything before we get started with our presentation, Angel, that you would like to let our viewers, our cherubs know?
Well, you sprung that on me. So
I know.
You know, we haven't been open. It'll be 2 years next month that we celebrate. So we're a new shop. And the reason that we did this, the reason that we opened a shop is, well, first of all, we did some pop-ups, and there was nothing in Williamsburg for more than a decade. But we have so many tourists. So when you come to Williamsburg to see our great nations, Williamsburg, Virginia, lots of history to go here. Lots of people come through. It just added on to it. We always believe that quilters are very supportive people. They're generous. They make major differences in their community. And it was our opportunity to give back. What made it even better is when we joined with Grace and became a Grace partner, because there is nothing that is better than having your quilt shop with the number one, in my opinion, in a lot of our opinions, long arm frame company. So I encourage you, even if you are not a local, quote unquote, that's the state of Virginia, even if you aren't local, but you come here on vacation, we will welcome you with open arms. And if you're not having fun, you're in the wrong place. Okay, because fabric and quilting should be fun, right?
Yes, absolutely.
So, so I just want to say, you know, we're here live and well and ready to have some fun with you, with quilting, with fabric, with notions, and of course with the Grace Company. So
yes, thank you so much.
Thank you.
So we are going to give you 19 reasons to fall in love with quilting. Yay. So we've got a lot to talk about here. And just so you know, we are very passionate about what we are talking about here today, and you will see at the end why. So we're going to have our friend Julie here behind the scenes throw up number 19 reason to fall in love with quilting. What is number 19, Julie? Let's see, 19 inches of throat space. So we're going to talk about our favorite machines here. These are our 19 and 19X Elite. So we got a 19X machine right there next to Anthony.
Yep.
The 19X Elite here by me has 19 inches of throat space. Now, if you're a quilter, sewer, you know what throat space means. But interestingly enough, I get a lot of calls and I'll say, what's the throat space on your machine? So a lot of people buying cuties that, you know, we ask that question for a reason.
Yes.
And they're like, what's the throat space? So interestingly enough, it's not like a full known fact of what the throat space is. So that's going to be your measurement here from your needle bar to the inside of the back of your machine, right here to the back there. And this is 19 inches. And that, when it's on your frame, every inch counts, right, Anthony? Why does every inch count when it's on your frame?
So I like to get the most out of my quilting before I have to advance my quilt. Whether I'm doing a 2-inch tiny little micro stippling block or I'm doing something as big as 17-inch blocks.
Yeah.
I want to get the most out of my design before I advance my quilt, because it kind of blows to keep rolling it up and then do a little and then roll it up and do a little more and roll it up.
Yes, especially it's like as you start and you have 6 inches and you're like, oh my gosh, I have all this space.
Yeah.
And then you try something and it's got 10 inches. You're like, oh my gosh, this has so much quilting area. And then you get yourself up to a 19 and you're like, how did I ever quilt with 6 inches of space? I don't understand. So it's one of those things where, you know, if the more inches you have in your throat space, the more you're going to love it, just because it makes it that much easier, right?
Yeah.
Right. All right. So 19 inches throat space is our number 19 reason why to fall in love with quilting again. Okay, so what's next? Number
18.
Number 18.
Bobbin winder M-class bobbins. This is a big deal.
It really is. So all of our Grace machines, from our Little Rebel, which is our 13-inch throat space machine, up to our 21-inch throat, has a bobbin winder with M-class bobbins. So the bobbin winder is a separate winder from your machine motor. So you don't have to unthread your machine to be able to wind some more bobbins. You can stick another spool on, wind your bobbin, put your bobbin in, keep on quilting. It's a really nice feature to have. M-class bobbins, now those are going to be much bigger bobbin than you have in your domestic machine. It holds about 65, 70 yards of bobbin thread. So as you're quilting, you're not running out of bobbin quite as often.
I heard something once. Can y'all hear me?
Okay. Yes, we can hear you.
Okay. Okay. So I heard something once, and it's brilliant. So somebody did say, okay, if you have that bobbin winder on the back of that machine, you can, while you're quilting or while you're getting ready to do something, you can have your girlfriend back there winding a bobbin, or guy friend back there winding it for you. So then you can just have two things going at the same time with a little help, right?
Yes, it is. It is a nice feature to have, because, you know, if you're in the middle of doing it and you do have someone helping you, you can have that done at the same time. So, I mean, that's not a feature that is on a lot of other brands and machines, and it's a really nice one to have.
It really is.
Yeah.
And that M-size bobbin.
Yay.
Oh my gosh,
the only thing I'm going to ask is that if y'all can come up with a way to have a forever bobbin, because
that would be my $1 billion idea.
Yeah.
I mean, I think it'd be in the billions if someone came up with a forever bobbin. I mean, we'd be doing.
I'm working on it on the side.
Oh, thank you. I appreciate that, Anthony. Yeah, okay.
Got it.
So I want in on that.
All right.
Okay.
But in the meantime, we've got the largest size bobbin, and it is awesome to not run out quite as much. Yes.
Exactly. Okay. So number 17, our number 17 reason, stitch regulation and 4 stitch modes. So both of our machines here, you can see they look really similar. They're both relatively the same size. You look at them side by side, they're pretty much the same size. They both have stitch regulation built in. So as you're speeding along, because you're a speed demon quilter, like Carla's our educator here.
Yeah.
And Angel is able to see Carla in action at a class last week, and she's like, you know, it'll keep your stitches regulated. It'll keep them the same size. Or if you're a turtle like me, you know what?
Same way.
Yeah, we're turtles over here. It'll keep our stitches the same size. So whether you're going faster or slower, or if you're like a Utah driver and you're fast, slow, right? He's laughing because it's very true here in Utah. That's how we drive.
Yeah.
It'll keep those stitches the same, which is such a great feature. I mean, you look at quilts and you're like, oh, I can tell that a pro did this. No, it doesn't have to be a pro.
Oh.
It can be you, a new quilter, doing these beautiful stitches, you know, that are all the same length and size. Yeah. And then 4 stitch modes. Now, why would you need 4 stitch modes?
Well, they're used for different things.
Right.
We have 4 different ones. I'm going to start with the manual, which was one we're all familiar with.
Mm-hmm.
This one is our one that is actually not regulated at all.
Right.
I like to call this one the Wild Wild West, because you're in control. You got to make things happen, and it's just going to go. So you got to keep it in check.
Yeah.
It's going to stitch at one speed, and however you move is going to regulate the stitches. So if you move really, really fast, you're going to get real big stitches. Pretty slow, you're going to get tight ones.
Yes.
I don't work on manual mode personally. I know a lot of quilters should do, but I'm not good at regulating
pick
them.
Me. I'm a manual girl.
We have our expert here.
Yes, we do. Angel, why do you use manual mode? Why do you like to use it?
because no, I like the way it sounds and I
Mhm.
like the way it feels. I didn't start that way. I started in one of the others, and eventually I just kept growing up into the manual mode.
Mhm.
I don't quilt. The idea is that we're not going super nuts back and forth,
Right.
and once you find that rhythm, it's just beautiful. You feel connected to the machine, and you're seeing your work. That's my preferred method. Believe it or not, I love it. I love manual, but
There's a
I didn't
lot
start
of
that
quilt-
way. I did not start that way.
There's a lot of quilters out there, and I can always tell it's usually a more experienced quilter that,
Yes.
they know how to move their machine. They've got the muscle memory down. Those are the ones that love to use manual mode.
Yeah.
Myself, I use precise mode. So precise is great because when you start moving your machine, your needle will go up and down and start stitching. But when you stop moving your machine, your needle will stop. So if you just want to keep in the control and then you want to kind of do a nice point and stop, it'll stop your needle where you stop it. And that's it's a nice feature. It feels to me like I have a little more control.
Yeah. See, I am partial to cruise mode. So we all have our different favorite, but I like the cruise mode because I feel like personally with the precise mode, it gives me too much of an opportunity to stop and question what I'm doing rather than just get into it. I need to be forced to pay attention and just be in the moment with it. But cruise is going to work. I kind of compare it to like a cruise control in a car where your needle's going to keep jogging. You set it at a certain percentage to go. 15% of the machine speed, 10%. It's just going to keep jogging at that same speed. But once you start moving, it will regulate to you. And the nice thing is it's really good for like tight corners. I've done a couple star patterns. I did some little boxes and I got really nice tight corners. Some nice tight micro stippling or thread painting is really good to use with the cruise mode. So I really like that one because it's got a little bit
I
of
will say, I have people tell me they like the cruise mode when they do ruler work.
Yes.
Yeah, I've heard that as well.
Mm-hmm. So all of these are good. It doesn't matter what your favorite is, because I think that each one of these regulated modes gives you the opportunity wherever you are in your quilting journey, whatever project you're working on. Sometimes you might want precise. Sometimes you might want cruise. Sometimes you just want to go Wild West, like Anthony says.
Yeah.
So it allows you the ability to be you.
Yeah, absolutely. And wherever you are at that moment in your quilting journey, right?
Yeah.
Or your project.
Or in your project, right? Because it does vary from line to line and block to block, right?
Mm-hmm. Absolutely.
So our last mode, so we've gone through 3 now. Our last mode is the basting mode. Super nice feature to have. You get your quilt sandwich here on your frame and you can baste along the top, baste along the sides. Your quilt's not going anywhere. You get it on there, baste it. You don't have to baste it and then put it onto your frame. You can do it while it's already on there. Nice. So it's just a nice feature to have in your long arm right there built in.
It is. I use it when I attach the batting to the frame. That's usually, or whenever if you need to baste along the edges or when you add the topper, all of those reasons are good for that basting stitch. And it's very nice that you do have that built in with it. So.
And I love that it's not just one size of basting stitch. You can set your sizes as well. Yes. Because some projects you need it to be a little bit more tight of a base. Other times you're like, I'm going to be clipping that out pretty quick for whatever reason. So I want longer stitches. So you have multiple sizes on the basting mode, which is great. And
there's some people, if you're a long armer who wants to do things for commission, there are some people that want to quilt their own quilts, but they do not want to baste them. So you can always ask somebody with a Grace machine if they are willing to baste your quilt for you. You can do a whole quilt basting, and then their customer or their cherub can actually quilt that themselves, and it's already basted.
That's such a great idea
That
because
is.
basting it's a lot of work just putting it through a machine
Oh,
and
yeah.
trying to keep it all straight and not get any puckers. I mean, when it's laid out on a frame here, it keeps so nice and smooth.
Oh yeah, it's like the easiest part of the whole thing.
Yeah.
But any other way.
Yeah,
struggle.
such a great idea, Angel. Okay, we've got number 16.
I know
Number
I'm going to
16
interrupt you one more time because
Okay,
Oh.
do it.
here's the thing. I've got Mr. Bryant Bush out of Utah. We've got Colleen Sews and Chats. Hello, glad to see you. Deb, the pug mama, she's in the house. Patricia Williams and Sharon Coy is my mom, so everybody can say hello to my mom.
Hi, Mom.
Yeah, and she loves the basting mode also. So if you're watching, go ahead and drop a comment. Let us know where you're
Yes.
from and say hello. We'd love to shout out and say thank you for stopping in. Okay, so go ahead. I'm sorry. Number 16.
No, that's great. Okay, number 16. So we have our two machines. Again, they look very similar. They do have some differences. This would be one of the differences. So the 19X, which is the one that Anthony is standing next to, has 2,000 stitches per minute. Pretty fast. I mean, that is really fast. Most of us cannot stitch that fast.
No. I
But
can't.
if you are a speed demon, the 19X Elite here has 2,600 stitches per minute. So you can go pretty fast with both of these machines without getting out of stitch regulated mode. So what happens is if you go a lot faster, that stitch regulation, it can't keep up. So with 2,000 stitches per minute, it's letting you go really, really fast and it's still regulating.
Yeah.
Same with the 2,600 stitches per minute on the 19X Elite, which is this one here. So that's one of the differences between the two 19s. The 19X Elite, it's a little bit faster.
A little bit. And it may not feel like too much of a big difference, but kind of when you're doing it,
Yeah.
you do kind of notice that difference. I love both of these machines. And, you know, when you get those different modes between each different machine,
Mhm.
it's really nice to just kind of feel, oh, I can go a little faster. I
Yeah.
can speed up. This is going to stay with me. And I'm not trying to jump the gun and unregulate
Yeah.
my stitches.
Exactly. All right, we are up to number 15.
Whoop, whoop.
Okay, this is a
Oh.
big one.
This is a big
This
one.
is a big one. I'll tell you.
Oh,
why.
it is.
Now-
It is.
Yeah. So for multiple reasons, I'm sure we all have our reasons. So number 15, adjustable ergonomical handles for easier control. So I am 5 foot tall, exactly 5 foot tall. I haven't shrunk yet. I get measured at the doctor every year to make sure I'm still 5 foot tall. I am.
They're lying to you.
They are not. I will not be in my 4s. Not that there's anything wrong with it, but I worked hard to get to 5 foot tall, right? So anyway, with the height there, I have a shorter reach, and it's really nice with these handles how they are adjustable. They can go in, they can go out. Now, all of us kind of drive our machines a little different too. Some people like to drive with their handles on the inside. Some like to drive with the handles on the outside. Some like to drive straight up. That's kind of how I drive.
Yeah.
Pardon me. So easy to adjust the handles, which is super nice, especially with someone that is my height.
Yeah, and
Okay.
since I'm, you know, a whopping 5'3", I can come in after Kathy.
You are
push those
not
handles in.
5'3". I didn't
5'4".
know that. You're taller than I am. I'm shocked.
That's like three
I mean,
people I'm
like-
taller than. Let's go.
It feels good though, doesn't it, to have that? But listen,
yeah.
I will tell you, I learned something. Now, my first long arm had a lot of grace in it, but it was not a grace machine. I'm not going to tell you what it is. If you stop in the shop, I'll tell you all about it. But now it's all about grace. And the one thing, my first long arm did not have those adjustables. So I've never been accustomed to be able to move them. And here is one of the things I want to add to that adjustable. Let's say you are ruler working. You can make one of those handles go in a direction that takes away from that space. So you're not trying to get your body in the right place and
Mhm.
underneath the handle. You can move the handle in such a way that you don't have to worry about your body and your arm and your hand getting in the way of ruler work.
Which
Just one
ruler
side.
work-
You could
Yes.
do just one side.
It's amazing because ruler work, it does take a little bit of maneuvering, right? It takes
Yeah.
practice until you get that muscle memory built in. But yes, anything that will make it easier, such as the handle, is a big
That
win.
was huge. That was
Yeah.
huge. So thank you
Yeah.
for that. And I want to add, so we've got people from Missouri. We've got Sherry who's chimed in. She is also from Pennsylvania. We've got
Wow.
Iowa. So, and
Wow.
then of course I did say Utah earlier. So keeping them
We've
coming,
got
guys. We
people
love
from
to say
all
hello. So hey, Sherry, glad to see you. She's actually one of my moderators, and she works with Halo to keep us safe. So she's
Oh,
on the
that's
back door
awesome.
looking at it. So.
making sure that we're all doing safe things,
Thank you
right?
for your work, Sherry.
Yes,
No
appreciate it.
trolls allowed here.
That's
right. Get 'em out of here.
Anyway, so go ahead. What's number 14? Are we done with
Oh.
15?
We're done
We're
with
done
15. So
15.
14, thread guide instructions printed on the
my
sides
God.
of the machines. Big deal.
So nice.
Because, it takes a minute to thread your machine, and after a few 10 times, you got it memorized. But say you put your machine back and you're not sewing or quilting for a month or two because you've had, life come up, right? Or a
Yep.
year or two. Happens to all of us. Well, guess what? You have to rememorize again how to thread your machine. We've got it printed right here, all on the side of the machine. So each step by step by step by step, it will show you exactly how to thread your machine.
It is.
So you don't have to worry about pulling. Oh, look, let's see if I can get a little bit closer. Oh, that's the wrong way. Is that the right way?
That's the right way.
Let's see.
You're going the right way.
Oh, yeah, there we go. Do you see all these markings right here and here? It shows you exactly how to thread it right there.
I will say another nice thing about having that pad printing is I get cocky, I get confident, I know how to thread my machine. I start doing it, and then there's a weird tension issue, and I'm like, what's wrong? So I check the bobbin, I start playing with the dials, and it's like, oh, you missed a crucial step in the threading process.
Yep.
So, I like that it's there so I can slow down, watch what I'm doing, make sure I'm not screwing anything up. But I've done that more times than I'd like to admit, where I'm like, I know how to thread a machine.
Well, and I remember the first show that we were at there with Halo, and one of our machines was going a little funky, and we tried all the things just like Anthony said. Mark, he ended up unthreading it and rethreading. He's like, "Who threaded this machine?" And all of us are like,
I've never seen that machine.
No, yeah, it was just threaded wrong. It's a big deal to have it threaded right? So, we all do it. We do it at shows, we do it in front of people, anything again to make it a little bit easier. That's what we try to do with Grace.
The bonus is you do not have to get the manual out and go to a certain page.
Yeah,
exactly.
It's on the machine.
Right.
Beautiful.
Exactly. Because whoever remembers where their manual is,
No.
it's in a safe place.
Oh, you're stronger than I'll be.
All right, number 13. Easy to use touchscreens. Now, this is something we're going to show you a little bit of close side by side, just because this is also something that is different between each of the two machines. People probably wonder, why do you have a 19X and a 19X Elite? What's the differences? There's subtle differences, things that keep the cost down on one. It doesn't interfere with the quality of the machine.
No.
It just makes it a little less expensive. And on the X Elite, it makes it a little bit easier. So side by side, you're looking at the two screens of the 19X Elite. You can see the one that Anthony's holding there. That one is a 2.4-inch touch screen. So easy to use. It's a touch screen. Has most of the same features that the X Elite does, minus a few perks that the X Elite comes with that we'll talk about here in a minute. But you'll notice the X Elite machine has a 7-inch touchscreen. But side by side, they look pretty similar. They have the same functions. They still have the same stitch modes, the 4 stitch modes that we talked about earlier.
Edge warning on both.
Edge warning on both, which I think we may talk about here in a minute. Yeah, but if we don't, let's circle back to that. But both of them are really nice touch screens, because we in our world today have definitely gotten used to a touch screen. I'll go to do this on my computer, extra monitors every now and again, and realize, oh, it's not a tablet, I can't touch it. No. So we've all gotten to that point in our lives, I think. I apologize. Have a little cough going. All right. So number 12. What do we got, Anthony?
All right, let's see it. Oh, the bobbin lights, the throat lights, all the lighting we love. Edge warning, which, I brought up a little early, but I get excited about edge warning.
Yeah, so
Our
we'll talk
measuring
about that.
tool and our speed warning. So a lot in number 12.
Yes.
But all pretty similar.
Yes, all the perky things kind
Yeah.
of. So bobbin lights. So if you're trying to put your bobbin in, sometimes your quilt is going to be floating down the front. You lift the front of your quilt. The light makes it really, really nice to be able to see in and look at your bobbin. Throat lights. This gives you extra lighting here on your project. So the shadows, we all have shadows from time to time. Poor lighting in our rooms, depending on what room you've stuck it in. I put mine in my loft that has one little bitty window. So it's not the best lighting up there. The machines having that throat lighting is so nice.
It is nice. I know when I've done my quilting before, I'm also in a weird corner of an office. I have, two similarly colored threads that are just one white, one off-white. And I'm like, eventually they start looking the same. You get them under that throat and a light, and it's like, what am I doing? These are two very different colors.
Yes, exactly.
So it's nice to have that extra lighting. And again, with the bobbin, you go under there. Where is that bobbin?
Exactly. So, Anthony, tell us now about the edge warning.
Edge warning. I love edge warning. So, edge warning is going to be on both of these machines. And number 12 actually is going to be things on both machines.
Yes.
Before we get to a little more individuality on these.
Yeah.
Edge warning is going to be, you can set a safe area on your quilt wherever you'd like to. It can be the entire safe space of your quilt from one end of the frame to the other, or it can be something like, I'm working in this specific square, this area. You can set it within an inch or a half an inch of your edges, just so it'll give you a little light, a little sound when you're getting close to your edges. So I'm not going to cross over this line. I'm staying in this area. I heard from a coworker, like when I first started, she was doing some pantographs from the back. She's focused on just really locking in here, and somebody walked in and noticed she's way off her quilt. She's just quilting nothing at this point. She's a little locked into the pantograph. And so it's nice to have that. If you're like really zoned in one area, which I tend to do, I'm not looking to my sides. I'm not paying attention to my surroundings. I'm just focused on this design. Nice and easy to stay in that one area and have a reminder. You're about to go over. You don't want to put this design in this square.
Yeah.
It's so nice to have.
Yes, it is a very nice feature that all except for the Little Rebel machines have an edge warning into the machine, which is great. Measuring tools. So this is just if you're wanting to measure blocks for whatever while it's on the frame. You can use your measuring tool right here in your toolbox. Measure your distance either vertically, horizontally, however you want to measure it. And then it gives you accurate measurements of that block or that section in your quilt.
Yes.
And then the final thing in this is the overspeed warnings. Now, why would you need those? I'll tell you why you need those. Because you get going and you're so excited and you're quilting your quilt and all of a sudden you hear beep, beep, beep. You're like, what is that? It was you going too fast to keep up with stitch regulation. Remember how we said it's rare? Well, it does happen. You get going really fast and your stitch regulation just can't keep up. It's going faster than the 2,000 or the 2,600 stitches per minute. So that warns you to slow down a little bit. You want to keep those stitches even and accurate. So it's that nice little buzz that lets you know.
And I will say, when you hear those sounds, you're not hurting your machine in any way. It's just a warning if you want those nice, pretty stitches. But people tend to panic. They hear that and they're like, oh, no.
Well, it's not just the noise. It has bright red flashes.
Yes.
What?
It's really warning bells going off. And you're like, I think I just broke the machine. You did not break the machine. Nothing's going on internally that's going to mess it up. It's just a little friendly reminder.
Yes.
Maybe a little more aggressive than friendly.
And I'll be real with you. I will say, once you start developing, once y'all start developing your quilting, free motion or whatnot, when you really start getting, you won't hit the edge or the
No.
overspeed warning. It's not, you come to terms with your machine, you become
Yeah.
one with it, right? And you really keep it smooth and running well. It's just at the beginning, sometimes we can tend to get a little zealous, right?
Excited, yes.
Yes.
One of the nice things about the edge warning and the lights is you can turn them off. So if for some reason you're like, okay, I know my machine, I don't need that beeping in my ear if I get a little close to going too fast, you can turn off the sound, you can turn off the light. We do that quite a bit at shows, just because people are not used to the machines and they'll go really fast. We get kids on them that want to try them out and they're like, so we turn off the sound and the lights at the shows, just, so we're not hearing it the entire time. But it is an option to have on or off, which is really great.
That is.
Yeah. All right. We are going to go.
You're going to go to number 11, aren't you? So I want to add, so Mayhem is in the house. Mayhem is actually Michael, just so y'all know.
Oh,
yeah. And he says hello and he says, hope everyone is doing well. Y'all are amazing. And then Pug Mama, she's talking to him too, and they're having a great conversation. But Mayhem isn't in the shop today. He's on vacation, just so y'all know. Yeah, but he wanted to join and he wanted to say hello to Anthony and Catherine. So just letting y'all know he is
Michael.
out there and saying hello. So
hello.
We do have, is there a beep for going too slow? Somebody wants to know.
So
Peg Mama, you can't go too slow, girl.
You can't. He says vacation, haha. That's how we all feel about vacation, right? It's never long enough. There's always too much to do.
But no beat for the slowness.
No beat,
you can be as slow. We got turtles. You can be.
We're not going to pressure you. We're not going to be like speed up.
Yeah, but it's the overspeed. Yes.
Yes.
So.
Deb, I'm also slow with 18 O's. I take my time with it. We're in this together.
Yes.
Okay. So what we got for number 11?
Number 11 reason the 19X Elite has a few things in it.
It does.
Okay. So we're going to talk about this. Number one is Bobbin Estimator. So as you put your bobbin in, you're going to put 70, 65, 60 yards of bobbin in. It'll show that you have a full bobbin. Right here, we've got our bobbin. It's full. It's showing as a green bobbin. As you run your machine and you're doing your beautiful quilting, as you get a little bit farther along, it's going to turn orange or yellow. Mm-hmm. That's warning you that you should probably think about checking your bobbin here soon. You might want to check it, see how low you're getting. Once it turns red, you have about 5 yards. Mm-hmm. So you want to change your bobbin at that point.
Yeah. Pull
Pull it out, change it. It's so much easier to change it in a spot where you're quilting, where you feel like you can raise your needle, pull it out nicely, put your new bobbin in, and get your needle back in the exact same spot than it is when your bobbin runs out and your thread is going without bobbin, right? It's a lot easier to change it in advance than it is to go back. You can do it both ways. I prefer to be proactive myself. So the Bobbin Estimator definitely helps with that.
Well, you will beat Bobbin Chicken, just as Mayhem says. He says, Bobbin Chicken, let's push it. But if it's turning red, you're always going to win.
Oh, okay. Yes.
Good tip.
It is true. It is true. Well, and any of you that have automation or thinking of getting your machine and frame automated, Bobbin Estimator is fantastic for that because, it makes sure that I will check my bobbin before I run out, because that machine and the automation doesn't care if you run out of bobbin thread. It will keep on stitching. It won't actually stitch anything, but it'll So it's really helpful for if you have automation as well. Mm-hmm. Also, it looks like we have calculator twice. I was a little excited about the calculator. So you can do all of your different sort of measurements, that sort of thing with the calculator. Our good friend Julie here, who is also an account executive, she calculates her DoorDash tip right here on her machine. So she knows how much to tip her DoorDash. That's her favorite saying. It's just nice to have right here. You don't have to pull out your phone or anything. You can just use it. where it is, which is nice. All right. So moving to,
I will say one thing.
Okay.
Since we have calculator twice, I'm going to take an opportunity to highlight another thing.
Okay.
On the Elite, you also have this Project Lifetime.
Yes.
I don't know if that comes up later, but
No, maybe not.
we're showcasing it now because I love it.
Yes. So this will show how long you've been working on your project. You reset it in between each quilt that you load onto your frame. But it'll also keep your lifetime hours. So you know, hey, I've been quilting for about 30 hours. I should probably oil my needle bar. You know, you probably should oil
especially since it should be 20. Yeah,
way before then. But you know, you can take a look at it and go, oh, I've been quilting for a lot long. Because you know, quilting, you think it's an hour, it's 10. You've been at your machine for 10 hours.
That's a turtle.
The next day. Well, you know, I did say I was a turtle.
This is us. We're speaking our truth.
Yeah, that's right. But it's because you get so like enthralled with quilting. It's just one of those amazing hobbies or projects that you just really get into, and time goes by so quickly. So yes, this will just tell you how long you've been working on a project or lifetime of your machine.
And that's also important for people who do it for commission, because if you're wondering how long of a particular project takes you, then you'll be able to calculate that based on how long you've been working, and you can adjust your pricing if needed. Right.
Right. And like if you have more of a dense sort of pattern that you're doing for someone, it'll tell you your stitches, which is really nice. So you can adjust your rate that way as well. So yeah, that is a really nice feature to have.
It is.
Okay. So I think
now we can go to 10.
Now we can go to 10. And I think
I'll let it go.
Now we are talking about the frame. So you'll notice here, we've got both of our 19 machines here on this gorgeous, amazing, sturdy Evolution Elite frame. We have it set up here as a 7 or 8. I want to say this is probably set up as a 7-foot frame. Evolution Elite frame is our strongest frame that we have so far.
Yes.
It is made with super strong steel, thicker and stronger rails. The rails are amazing.
They are.
I mean, they hold a ton of weight. You can get a big, huge, heavy king size quilt on this without it doesn't even really move. It's so nice.
It is.
Extra brackets as far as keeping it sturdy. So as you have the machine humming along, doing a little bit of vibration, your frame's not going anywhere.
No, it's going to minimize that quite a bit.
Mm-hmm.
And I will never recommend leaning on your frame.
No.
But this is one of those frames where you lean on it, and then after like 10 minutes, you're like, oh, shoot. I've been leaning on it. It give you that warning before then. You don't feel the bowing of it. It's so sturdy and nice, and just, I love it, everything about it.
Yes, we're going to go over some of the features of the Evolution Elite frame. So we can talk about, it is a little bit more expensive than some of our other frames, but there are good reasons for it.
Yes.
And we're going to go through some of those. Number 1 is that stronger steel frame. Number 9, we're to number 9. And this is the whole reason this frame is our best frame yet. So we've done frames for about 40 years here at Grace Company. We are not newbies at making frames. Started out wood. They're now made of beautiful steel. So we've done a lot of frames. We made a lot of frames for different companies, made them for Grace Company. This is our first frame that has upgraded metal ratchets. So the ratchets tend to be where your frame does a lot of the work. This is what's grabbing your rail, holding your quilt on tight to the rail. Over time, when it's made of plastic there, those teeth, the ratchet teeth, kind of can wear down. So we've listened, we heard what our customers have been saying, and this frame, our engineers did such a great job. They added those metal ratchets. Those are not wearing down.
Are not, and they're holding things in place.
Yes.
I've heard, as some may break off with those plastic ratchets, may just wear down. It's not getting the right tightness of your quilt, and it's just getting frustrating over time. I've heard some people have to hold their rails sometimes while they quilt until they get their upgrade or their
The replacement.
new piece.
Yeah.
These are not going to do that. They're
Yeah.
never wearing down. They are here to stay. So
Yes.
this is a good investment.
It
on
is.
I've
frame.
actually had plastic ratchets in the past, and my quilt, while it was quilting, collapsed
Oh no. So
right in the middle of it. So these metal ratchets are huge.
huge.
Thank
Yes.
you, Grace.
Yes, such a great, and if any of our engineers are out there listening,
Thank you.
watching, thank you.
We love
thank
you.
Yes, it's so nice. It's so nice. All right, number 8. Okay, so I have put here, oh, I didn't do very well. Good job typing this morning. Okay, 8 foot. That's supposed to be 10 foot, not 1 foot. 8 foot, 10 foot, or 12 foot options for the frame. But if you recall a minute ago, I said this was probably set up as a 7 foot.
I do recall that.
Tell me how that can happen, Anthony.
Okay. So if we're looking past our 1 foot frame,
Yes, it's not a 1 foot frame. It's a 10 foot frame.
they're going to come in different increments here. Your 8 foot is going to come in 2 4-foot pieces that make that 8 foot.
Actually, it's a 5 and
Oh,
a
a 5
3.
and a 3.
Yes,
My bad.
so
I'm thinking of a different frame.
With different frames.
Yep. Sorry. 5 and a 3 foot.
Yes, for
My
8
bad.
foot.
So you're going to get that 5 foot, 3 foot extension on there. You'll get your 8 foot.
Mhm.
For your 10, you're getting 2 5-foots. And your 12, you're getting a 5, and a 2. So you can really kind of play with the
Mhm.
size and make it fit your room, which is so
Exactly.
convenient.
So if you have a room that would fit, a 7 foot frame, guess what? We can do that with this frame. We can make a 7 foot frame. We can actually make an 8 foot frame, a 9 foot frame, a 10 foot frame. Can we make an 11?
No, I don't think we could make 9.
Yes, no, we can't do an 11, but we can do 12. 12 would be the max that you would want to do on a frame, just so your rails aren't bowing. So that's a long frame if you get anything bigger than a 12. But it gives you options because not everyone's space is the same size. I've talked about this before with customers and with Angel and with Anthony. My quilting area is up in a loft. And I've got one side of my frame butted up right against a couch. And on the other side, you do the little shimmy to get around and the shimmy to the back. And it is all because I wanted a 10 foot frame, not an 8 foot frame. I wanted to be able to do larger size quilts. I fit that 10 foot frame in perfectly. I have just enough room to shimmy around it. So, I have that option, which is so great with this frame. You can just make it fit your space, whatever size it happens to be.
Yes. And I'm seeing a comment from Brenda over here. So she has the Evolution set up as 10 foot. The 12 was too tight. So she's storing that 2 foot extension. I will always die on this hill. If you're
Yes.
looking at the 10 or the 12, get the 12. There
Yes.
isn't a price difference.
No.
And you'll just have that 2 foot extension. If you ever get room for that,
Mhm.
it's just nice to have on hand.
Yeah.
So you don't have to come back to us and be like, I do want the 12 actually.
Yeah.
So if you're looking between those two, follow Brenda, do that, store your
Exactly.
2 foot extention.
And
Yes.
to be real, it's cheaper because you don't have to buy it twice.
Exactly.
I'm
I
just
know.
saying.
All right, we've got number 7, adjustable height. Now this is a big deal.
It is.
Again, 5 foot, 5'4", 5 foot. What'd you say, Angel? 4?
What?
5? How tall
What
are you?
Coloring.
5'2 3/4".
All right. 3/4 matters.
It really does. So we like it lower, but we also have Mark, our coworker, our director. He's like 6'3" or something. He's way up there.
Yeah.
So when he sets up his frame, it's up here.
We're quilting
When-
like this.
Yes.
He's as tall as Salt Lake City's mountain there.
He's close. He's very tall. And the bald head makes him look a little bit taller even. But yes, he likes his up here. We like ours down here. It gives you the option. You set it at whatever height God gave you. So if he gave you 5 feet, you set it lower. If he gave you 6'4", you set it higher. It's really a nice feature to have the adjustable height.
It is.
Another thing that I have learned as I had my frame over time is I'm getting tired. I'm older, I'm getting tired. I don't want to stand there the whole time. I got myself an adjustable stool. I can roll it right up to my frame, and it's the perfect height to be able to sit while I am doing my quilting.
Wow.
Yeah, it's a great Got it on Amazon. If any of you guys are looking, there's a good one there with a back on it. That's what I was looking for.
Oh, nice.
So yeah, it's nice because I can have it standing height, but I can also sit down if I want to. All right, number 6.
6.
3 rail rolling rail system. Okay.
My
Angel's
favorite.
excited. She's excited about this. So we're going to talk about this, and then we're going to talk about something that makes it 4 rails or 5 rails.
Oh.
So with a 3 rail system, basically what you can do is you can roll your backing, your batting onto the rails, get them up and off the floor, as well as your top. It gives you the option to get everything onto your rails so it's not in your way, right? Some of our frames have just 2 rails, which means you do float your top no matter what. This gives you the option of rolling it up if you would like to do that.
It is nice to have it all rolled up.
Yeah.
I feel like everything goes on really nice and straight. I was very adamant on my last quilt. I'm going to float it. I'm just going to float it. I'm just going to float it. And then I was like, I should really just put all the rails on. So I got in there. I put all of them on the cloth leaders. And I was very happy I did it by the end.
Yes, it does keep it nice and straight. It takes a little bit longer to roll it up onto all the rails, definitely, because you're doing the work. But as you're quilting, you're getting beautiful,
the work pays
straight
off.
fabric, yes, which is really nice. Now, Angel, do you roll your quilt top onto your rails or do you float it?
I roll.
You roll it.
All right.
All right.
Always.
I go half and
I don't
half.
like to float because I can't. It doesn't let me know that I keep it straight because my eyes are crooked. So usually if, I'm cattywampus as it is. So it forces me to keep everything straight. But that's just a personal preference. There are no rules.
No.
There are only guidelines in quilting. So whatever makes you happy, that's what you do. But I attach it to all the rails.
Yes. And I kind of do both. If it's a larger quilt, I attach it to all the rails because it's moving around. I want to make sure it stays straight. If it's a smaller quilt, I'll float the top just because I can do a little shake and make it nice and smooth that way. So again, no rules, just personal preference. So, all right, number 5, patented dual track system for smoother movement. Now, what does that mean, Anthony? What is dual track movement?
All right, so dual track is going to be a little bit more stable. If you are on a single track, I like to compare it to train tracks. You have your one sitting straight forward, and you have your train sitting directly up on there. If you have a dual track, it's more like a little mountaintop, and your wheels are going to sit there nice and straddle that little mountaintop. So you can see back here on this rail, 2 black strips here. Those are your dual tracks. And they're just going to sit there in that little V shape and hold everything in there a little more nice and stable. Not the single tracks are a bad thing.
Nope.
It's just the dual track is just going to feel a little bit different, feel smoother, and a little more secure in my opinion.
Well, and one thing I've noticed is, and we tell this to a lot of people because everyone's in a different stage of their life, being able to get different frames, different sizes. If you've never had a machine on a frame before, you probably won't notice the difference between a single track and a dual track. But if you have been free motion quilting on a frame, you will notice a difference. And that's just because it makes it so smooth. People, especially, we get a lot of husbands at shows with their wives, and a lot of times they're the quilters. The husbands are the quilters. The wives do the piecework, the men do the quilting, or vice versa. But we get a lot of men, and they notice the little details, the engineering type details, and they love to go, oh my gosh, this is so smooth. And they've figured out, oh, look, it's the way it's riding on the rails. It's just the way that we have designed it, it keeps it so beautifully smooth, easy to move the machine. I mean, I can move it just with one finger here, and it's going smooth, you know. So that is why a dual track is really, really nice. And this frame has the dual track on it. All right, where are we
So
at?
I want to let y'all know, Ann Feelback is in the house. Hello to you too. She is one of our local cherubs here in the Williamsburg area. She loves Grace. And she also says, we love Angel and Halo Inspirations Quilt Shop. Thank you. Oh, that's so
Aw.
sweet. She actually enjoys floating and basting down her sides. So having that option, like I said, there are no rules, no rules.
Right.
And I think Brenda needs like some kind of mega applause because she says she loves that she can pin or clamp the quilt, which is absolutely true. But man, this girl is like selling it for us. I mean,
I know.
She's like the greatest advocate right now. So thank you, Miss Brenda. I appreciate it.
Well, when people get a Grace machine and Grace frame and they fall in love with it, it's so nice because we love that our customers, our cherubs in your case, they love to advocate for us and tell us, tell other people why to buy a Grace.
She gets a gold star and a heart.
All right, number 4. So this is something that's really nice. When you purchase the Evolution Elite frame, it is an elite frame. So it comes with quite a few of the extra perks that don't always come with your frames. It's going to come with the table inserts, which you can put, if you're not ready for automation yet, you can put down the plastic pattern perfect Anthony was talking about earlier on your back table. It's made for those specifically, so it'll screw right into the table and not move. Comes with those table inserts.
It's not meant to put all of the 10-inch square packs and fat quarter bundles and all the yardage on top.
No, because as you're quilting, you'll run into those items.
It's not
that I know this from experience or anything. And Angel obviously has not experienced that either.
Anyway, so we got the table insert. Sorry, I had to interject. And next on the list is?
And then cloth leaders. So cloth leaders are one of those things that I love to tell people.
They're in need, honestly.
They're in need. They really make it easier so you can get all the way to the top corners, all the way to the sides, all the way to the bottom corners. A lot easier. They're included with this frame. You don't have to buy those as an extra. They come with the frame. It's like about a $250 savings. Comes with the frame. So some of these things that come with the frame that we encourage you to purchase anyway, that's why the price may be a little bit more, but you're not buying stuff on top, which is really, really nice.
It is. And with the cloth leaders, you're saving yourself extra money down the road. If you don't have those, you're going to need extra backing to be able to get to your quilt top and quilt those edges. So, I don't want to spend extra money on fabric that's just going to act as my little barrier. I want to spend it on the fabric that's going on the quilt top.
Yes, exactly.
So I recommend always cloth leaders, cloth leaders, cloth leaders.
And then bungee clamps. So those are going to clamp onto the sides of your quilt if it's a smaller quilt than your frame. Give you the tautness that you need. And then channel locks. So you can lock your frame either vertically or horizontally in place. So you can do those nice, straight, beautiful rows that you see on quilts. It locks right in, keeps it going just in a straight line, whichever direction that you want to go. Those are all included with the frame. Okay, so we've got 3 more things we're going to go through, and then we've got our giveaways, and we've got about 3 minutes left. So let's go number 3. Okay, this we're going to give off to Angel. Number 3, accessory options, idler in caps and batting rails, casters, lasers, rear handles, ruler base, optional feet. These can all be added to fit into your quilting journey. These are things that you don't need to have up front per se. You find through your quilting journey what sort of things you would like to add. But Angel and Halo is very passionate about one of these items.
Actually, 2 of them.
2 of these items.
And I never told you about this, but when you buy from Halo, if you buy an Evolution Elite or an Evolution Hoop or any of our frames that have legs, we always give you the casters.
Oh, so nice.
Oh, nice.
And that's because if you're going to clean behind it and need to move, it's so important to have casters. So it's part of our gift to anybody who purchases through Halo Inspirations that the casters always come with the frames that you can add it to. Okay. But the idler bar is a big deal in my world. I don't think anybody should ever have to purchase a frame that doesn't have an idler bar. I always encourage it. So the idler bar, if Anthony or Catherine, you will show which one that is. So you'll notice it is the second bar on the top, or excuse me, the bottom bar on the bottom. You have the take up on the top. So when you roll your quilt, it goes up there. The idler bar is just meant to keep your fabric going underneath it up to that take up bar.
Yeah,
why is that important? If you do not have an idler bar, it is not the end of the world, but it requires extra steps. So as your quilt, if you didn't have an idler bar, you just have a take up, just that bottom bar. As you're rolling on that quilt, as it gets bigger, by the way, you've got a topper, a backing, and batting. As you roll it up, that quilt gets bigger and bigger on that bar. You can't have it touching the machine. You know, just like when you're domestic quilting, it got drag, it will cause some mega drag. So you're always going to have to lift that bar up. But an idler bar keeps that from ever happening. It's set, you're done, and you just quilt and roll. Period.
Yes. Saves you extra steps throughout because you're having to raise it as that roll gets fatter. So definitely
Awesome.
Yes, definitely awesome. She's definitely passionate about it. Every time she calls and says, I have an order, make sure you get the idler rail in there because, you know, she really, it's a nice thing to have for sure. Okay, we're going to move to number 2. Okay, we're just kind of glancing over this a little bit, but all of our machines and all of our frames, except for the mini quilter, can be automated, including our little Rebel, which is our smallest machine. So machines, frames, they're all mix and match, and that's what we're good at here at Grace Company. We encourage, you know, different setups for different people, whatever your journey is at, but they're all able to be automated with a QCT6. Now, Angel, you are out here. You've been using QCT for several years now, but you were out here last week getting a little extra training with QCT6. What did you think? What do you think about QCT?
Well, I already knew that I love it. So coming from QCT5, it is so much easier. And there's more functions. So I hadn't gotten to play with the font function. Yeah, listen, y'all, QCT6 is simply amazing. If you happen to live nearby, stop in, we'll show you because it's incredible. I mean, there's so many functions. So I love it. I love it. I love it. Yeah.
Yes, it's awesome. It is awesome. Okay, we are close to the end here. And before I do number 1, don't pop it up there yet. Let's talk about our giveaways. Yes. So normally we have 1 giveaway, but we're going big this time. We're giving 2 giveaways. So our first one, we're going to do a quilters. Well, let's do them both at the same time.
Okay.
Bring them out.
Bring them out.
Okay. So we've got quilters combo first. Now this is True Cut product. This is where Angel started falling in love with Grace Company. If I recall, you fell in love with True Cut. You came in and you were talking all about it. You had been using it at the shop.
That isn't where we started.
Okay.
But it is the second part. And I will say Mayhem, he is very passionate about True Cut.
Yes.
He will not use anything else.
Me neither.
And for somebody who says their name is Mayhem. So what we're doing is that we're making sure that he's not creating mayhem, right?
Yes.
Okay.
Knock on wood. Anyway, so go ahead.
Okay, so we've got our quilters combo. This is our most popular package. It's the 24.5 by 6.5 inch ruler. Comes with the 45 millimeter comfort cutter and the pack of True Grips. So these are going to be winners from those that pre-registered for the event. And I do have to tell you, we've got the most registrants for this event than any other event aside from a Grace only event. So congratulations, registrants. We know you love her. We know that you love Halo, and you guys
and Grace.
Yes.
And Grace.
Yeah.
And
I mean,
Grace.
that's a combo thing because
It
people aren't
is.
going to register for a company they don't love, right?
It's true. It's
You
true.
have built some real true people who are follow you.
That's right.
Thank you.
Thank you. I mean, I that was a shock to my system, and I just want to say thank you guys. You're amazing. My cherubs. I love them.
Yay! All right. And so our winner, a pre-registered winner for our quilters combo is going to be Lori Burnett. Congratulations.
Or you're going to love it.
Yes, you will love this. We'll get this sent out to you, but go ahead and reach out to Allegra@graceframe.com and they will get your information, get it all sent out to you. Congratulations. And then our second item is our True Cut combo.
So we've given away both of our items that come in a nice little fun package here, but this one's a little bit more fun.
Yes.
Nice hard cased package. And it's going to be your best friend for if you're, doing quilting retreats, going traveling. People put their stuff in their RVs and they go along. This is going to travel great with you.
Yes.
It comes with so many fun goodies up inside there.
Yeah.
A little cutting mat, a 28 millimeter cutter in there, pins, a little magnetic bracelet on there so you can keep those pins nice and easy accessible. Yep. A hard surface in case you do need to do any cutting, pencils, True Grip. So it's a fun bundle of joy.
It is.
I'm jealous because I don't have one yet.
I'll sneak you one.
Okay.
So our winner for this from our pre-registrants is going to be
Drum roll, everybody, drum roll.
Paula Rodriguez. Congratulations, Paula. Again, if you are watching, just reach out to Allegra@graceframe.com and they will get your information and get it sent out to you.
Right.
The reason that we are giving away True Cut product is our next show with Halo. We're already thinking about, we've got it on the calendar. It's going to be with Angel and Mayhem.
Mayhem will be in the house because this is his baby. I mean,
Yes. And we're going to be talking all about True Cut. So we thought we'd give out some True Cut product to our winners today so you guys can get started with it.
Hype.
Yeah, exactly. Well, that leaves us to our number one reason to fall in love with quilting. And we all came up with the exact same reason.
Yeah.
Here we go. Because we all have a Quilting 19 machine and we love them. I have one at my home. I have a 19X Elite. It is my baby. I love it. I am passionate about it. It's the right size, right fit for me.
Yes. It has everything you could ever ask for. It's not too big. It's not too small. It is, for me, everybody has their own, but for me, this is the absolute perfect machine. Absolute perfect. Nothing can compete. Yeah.
Yes.
And you, Anthony, love it too, don't you?
I do, because it's the biggest machine that fits on all of our frames. So you can get this big machine, but you can grow with your space. If you only have space for the cutie, if you only have space for the Q zone or the Q zone queen, there's so many different directions to go, but it allows you to grow with that wonderful 19 inches of throat space.
Yeah.
Brilliant. Thank you, Anthony. And I want to add, so Tammy showed up. She said she was late. Girl, you are never late for a live. So welcome aboard. And she wants a Unique 19X also. So yes, it's coming along, but
we're going to tell Tammy what kind of great prices she can get for this week. Just reach out to Halo, give them a call, get on their website, email them, let them know you're interested. They'll give you a call back or they'll answer your questions. These are our prices that we have. They're amazing.
Yes.
The 19,
they are amazing because you're getting the frame, which you pick 8, 10, 12. The 19, your choice with the two prices. You're getting an idler bar. That's Halo's combo. Okay.
Yes.
And we also throw in casters.
Yes.
Absolutely.
This is a deal you're not getting anywhere else.
It is true. It is true. So the prices here, they can't be beat. You can't find these here at Grace. If you call Grace and say, I watched on Halo, I want that price, I'll say, here's their phone number, give them a call, because they're the ones that are giving out these amazing prices this week.
With you.
With us, yes.
It's a team. It's a team.
We are a team, yes.
Can't
I
do it
love
without
that,
you.
Angel.
Yeah.
I love we're such a good team. So 8119, that's your 19X machine, your Evolution Elite frame in whatever size fits your space with the idler rail and the casters, 8119. The 19X Elite, that is this one here with the Evolution Elite frame in whatever size fits your space with the idler rail and the casters, 9669.
Wow.
You won't be able to find these prices anywhere else. You have 1 week through next Wednesday to get these prices, so make sure to jump on it.
Now, I got to add, if you are not local, quote unquote, Virginia, we have a lot of people that follow us through. It is on our website. Just go to the shop button. I'm leaving it as the first 2 items. It cannot be hard to find. Okay.
Perfect.
Super easy. Okay.
Yes.
It'll stay there for the week. If you live within a 4-hour radius, I need to add that we will come to your house and set this up for you for free. Can I say it? For free. Okay. And then I come out personally at some point and I show you how to take care of it. And I show you how to get the basics started to use it at no additional cost. This is our gift for saying thank you. So
and that is a big gift. I mean, such a big gift to both have it set up and have your knowledge and you teaching. It's one of the reasons that we love partnering with you, with Halo. Your customer service, number one, can't be beat.
Exactly.
Your personality can't be beat. She keeps things so fun and exciting. But, you know, obviously the customer service is number one. When I buy something, I look at customer service.
Me too.
Then I look at price, and customer service cannot be beat with Halo.
And support, which comes also from the Grace side. We have both of us coming together to be there, walking with you through your journey.
Yes. So again, if you guys are out in the Virginia area next week, starting on Wednesday, we're going to be at Road to Virginia, the first one.
I am so stoked. Just so I can't. And if you're, even if you could just stop by and say hello, I want to see y'all's faces in person.
Well,
just
I
know all of us. Yay.
I know it's going to be so fun. Please come visit us. Come see our booth. Come talk to us. See the products. Touch them. You know, come play. It'll be great. We hope to see a lot of you there. Let us know if you saw us here. We love to know who our viewers are. So we'd love to meet all of you and hope you can come.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Angel, any last thoughts before we go for the day?
We had one question. I'm going to reiterate it. How long will these prices be available? They are available until next Wednesday, 11:59 p.m. Eastern time.
Yes.
Okay. So that's very important. It'll shut down at 11:59 Eastern time. I don't think you're going to see this again. But again, if it's not in your realm of time, come see us. I can't guarantee that there'll be this, the greatest prices this has to offer, but there are show prices. We do have Grace, this is Grace's show. We are just coming along to support them as the only dealer in the state of Virginia. It's our way of saying thank you to Grace, and so that you get to meet your dealer if you're local to the area. So yes, that's when it is good for, is next Wednesday, the 25th of June at 11:59 p.m. Eastern time.
Perfect.
Yes.
Well, thank you so much for joining us, everyone, and watching with us and learning our 19 reasons to fall in love with quilting.
Yes, thank you. And I'm so glad that y'all got to meet Anthony and Catherine. I'm telling you, they are 2 of the 3 favorites of my personal self. I mean, I have such a love, and it's such an honor for me to be here with them, to show you who these amazing people are, because hands down, no matter what, they are always going to take care of you, always, and me, and Halo, and you. So it just is a gift. So thank you for sharing you with us.
Thank you. Thank you.
Yes.
Everyone have a great day. We will see you next time talking about TrueCut.
And congratulations to everybody who won. Yay.